Hello students, welcome back. It's my next video on the topic. The chapter here is the structure of atom. Here in this video, I'll be taking up all the parts of the atom, means what the atom constitutes of, and JJ Thomson's model of atom. So let's begin with structure of atom. When John Dalton gave his theory, he concluded that atom is indivisible and is the smallest particle of any type of matter and cannot be divided further into smaller particles. But as time passed by, more and more experiments were being held. It was found out that the atom is not indivisible but is made up of three types of particles, which were later on named as electrons, protons and neutrons. Now, first, how did this come up? You remember doing static electricity in the previous class, that is your class 8. There we had studied that when we rub two objects, the two objects become oppositely charged. If I take a glass rod and I rub it with, say, a silk wire or something, when we rub the two, one develops a positive charge and the other develops a negative charge. Now, it means that these charges are coming from the atoms contained in this particular material, maybe the glass rod, and because two different types of charges are developing, it means that the atom contains at least positive charges and negative charges. In this context, the electrons were discovered by JJ Thomson in the year 1897, or we can say just before 1900. JJ Thomson discovered negatively charged particles and he named them electrons. So from here, we will conclude that electrons have a negative charge on them. They are negatively charged particles, or it is a subatomic particle of the atom. Then, even before that, E. Goldstein in 1886 discovered the positively charged particles and he named them protons. So protons have a positive charge, electrons have a negative charge. This is about charge. Now coming to the mass, the electrons have almost no mass. They are extremely small particles and hence the mass of electrons is taken as negligible. And the mass of proton is roughly 1840 times the mass of an electron, or we can say approximately 2000 times the mass of the electron. Or we can say that the mass of electron is 1/2000 times that of proton. After this, when these two types of particles were discovered, that is, the atom consists of electrons and protons, and further studies were made, then JJ Thomson gave his model of the atom. Attempts were made that how are these positive and negatively charged particles placed inside an atom. So JJ Thomson was the first one to suggest a model for the atoms. How does his model go? First, we'll relate it to a watermelon. He related either it to a watermelon or a Christmas pudding. Understanding watermelon, you know watermelon is all red spherical structure, and inside this red spherical structure we have black seeds. This is what a watermelon looks like. This is the red part of the watermelon and these are the black seeds of the watermelon. So he said that the entire atom is a sphere of positive charges, or we can say that the red part was taken as the positive charges, that is the protons, and embedded in the proton, these black seeds were taken as the negative charges, that is the electrons. So this is what JJ Thomson suggested, that an atom consists of a sphere of positively charged protons in which the negatively charged electrons are embedded. And he also suggested that the amount of positive charge and negative charge is equal. Both being equal results in the atom being neutral. So he concluded that the positive charges and the negative charges are equal in amount. So equal amount of positive and negative charges, and thus the atom becomes neutral. He also said that the atom can represent a Christmas pudding. It is just like a Christmas pudding. In the Christmas pudding also we have a pudding cake, and in that we have the dry fruits or the currants, that is the raisins, kishmish. So the Christmas pudding has raisins inside it. Again the same thing, the entire pudding part is the positive charge and the raisins represent the negative charge. Same way the amount of positive and negative charges are equal. This model was given by JJ Thomson. Then scientists made attempt to study further the atom keeping this structure in mind. And it was after JJ Thomson that Rutherford tried an experiment based on this model. The Rutherford's experiment and the Rutherford model will be discussed in the next video, the link to which you can find in the description box of this video. Before I end up, we will take the third type of particles which were discovered much later on. Before the discovery of this third type of particle, Thomson also gave his model, Rutherford also gave his model. So in these two models, there is no mention of the neutrons, neither in the Thomson's model nor in the Rutherford's model. So later on, a third subatomic particle was discovered, which was called the neutron. It was discovered by J. Chadwick in the year 1932. The neutron is a neutral particle. Neutral means neither positive nor negative. So it has no charge on it, and the mass of the neutron is similar to the mass of the proton. Whatever is the mass of the proton, same is the mass of the neutron. So we can conclude from here that the atom is not indivisible, but is made up of three subatomic particles: electrons, protons, and neutrons. Electrons negatively charged, negligible mass. Protons positively charged, have a certain mass. Neutrons negatively charged, have the mass same as that of the protons. Now coming to the Rutherford model, we will be discussing it in the next video. Please do like, share and subscribe the videos, and let your friends also get benefited. Thank you.